It's the Man Space Podcast. Take it away, fellas.
Thank you, voice girl, and welcome once again to the Man Space Podcast. Now, this is the voice of Russ, and with me, as always, he is the Axel Foley of this show, the one and only Big Les.
What up? I gotta be Axel Foley today.
Man, you out there stuffing tailpipes, man. Stuffing tailpipes.
Man, that used to be one of my favorite movies, man. Beverly Hills Cop, bro. I know that one.
I remember I talked Mama Russ into taking me to see Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Yeah.
And I was still a kid at the time. Boy, she was so uncomfortable with all that cursing.
And all that cussing with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, man. Because I don't think she knew it was rated R when she took me to see it.
Yeah,
man.
well, she should have known it was Eddie Murphy. Everything was rated R.
She wasn't. Mama Russ didn't know anything like that. Yeah, she didn't know nothing like that. You took advantage of
Mama Russ.
I did.
She should beat you with a broom right now.
Shoot. Some of the stuff that Mama Russ done. I was thinking about it the other day. Me and my cousin, I was probably in first grade at the time.
Yeah. And
me and my cousin was annoying her one day, and she was trying to make dinner.
Yeah.
And we kept running up front, and we'll do something really annoying and then take off running back.
Yeah.
Mom took off a shoe.
She was waiting on you.
Threw it.
Yeah.
That joker, I got around the corner just in time because that shoe got stuck in the wall.
Oh, she did that with some force.
Yeah, she did.
She wasn't playing with y'all at all. Y'all really pissed her off.
Mm-mm. Oh, yeah. Mama Russ was evil. Mama Russ was straight evil.
That's horrible. I get it, though. Mama Les used to beat me with anything she could get her hands on. She just...
My grandmother, she had a switch that she called Dr. Pepper.
Oh, yeah.
And so me and my cousin, once again, same cousin, we cutting up. Yeah. And my cousin lived with her. And she said, "Do you want some Dr. Pepper?" Now, I love Dr. Pepper.
You're like, yeah.
To this day, it's one of my favorite drinks. Of course, I'm like, yeah. My cousin like, no, you don't.
No, you don't want that. That's funny. It's amazing though. You sit back and you think about the things, the past, and all of the older generation, than your parents and the things that they did. You know what I mean? Because I had an Aunt Veer. Man, my mama said this was punishment. If I did something wrong, I'm gonna take you to your Aunt Veer house. Oh man, I bust out crying, bro. I don't want nothing to do with none of that. I don't want it. I don't want nothing to do with it. My Uncle Donald, he was mean as hell. But Aunt Veer would sit outside. You remember them old the metal chairs that would swing? Yeah. She sat on one of them, boy. And if you swung it, she didn't want to be swung. If you sat on the other side and you got the moving on that thing, well, I'm trying to tell you, I don't know where she got them switches from, but they ain't never broke. My whole life, I done got beat with green ones and brown ones and blue ones, and they was like the rainbow. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Look, I ain't never sat so still in my life, boy. I mean, she said, "Come in there, sit down." You sat down. You didn't move. You didn't make noises. You didn't do nothing. You sat your tail there. Because if you didn't, she's gonna tear it up. Ooh, my Aunt Veer.
See, I used to hear from all my friends that came from up north, we're going to send you down south.
Yeah.
And that would get them to straighten up.
Yeah, because down south, see, my aunt from down south, she just moved up there. She just brought all that southernness with her up to Detroit. And boy, we get dropped off over there, man. And I tell you, I had more crocodile tears. I would have just took a beating from my mom and my daddy for that weekend, bro. Don't send me over there, please. Please don't send me over there. They just pull up. They don't get out the car. They just unlock the door. Get your stuff. Get out. Oh, Lord Jesus. They didn't want nothing to do with it either. They just say, hey.
No part.
Yeah, hey, up here. Here you go. And put me out. Boy, oh, man, bruh. It was a good thing, though. My aunt used to take us around to this, I'll never forget it. He had that old Sanford Son pickup truck. He was a junk man, too, by the fact. He had that junk pickup truck, but he had a nice one. He'd take us to the butcher shop, and I like to go to the butcher shop. This was the highlight of going to Aunt Vera's house, other than getting beat to death. Went to this butcher shop, and back then, bro, my uncle would get cold cuts, you know what I mean, for lunch and stuff. And they would give us that roll of bologna, bro, that had the red roll on it. And they slice it, and it'd be sliced real thick. And he cube it up and be like, here, boy, take a piece of this. And you be sitting there, you looking at it. Here go another piece. Y'all not gonna eat up all my meat. He just started going crazy. Here, take another piece. We was eating ham and salami and bologna, bro. We'd be full by the time we come back from the meat market. And then if you walk too loud, you get that switch, and you just sat there. It was quiet. God rest her soul, but she would beat the brakes off you, boy. I mean, brakes. There wasn't no such thing as not being disciplined in that home.
Yeah.
Ooh. And then we had a cousin that had special needs there too. It didn't matter. They got the brakes beat off of them too. You know that comedian, his name is Arnez J. Yeah. I know Arnez. He got a brother named Rodney. That's that. Okay, yeah. He got a brother named Rodney that's challenged. Same thing, bro. Same thing. She would cuss in the whole 9 yards and get beat with that switch. I just felt, oh Lord, I'm gonna get hit with that switch next. Just because she was getting beat, I was trying to get out the way and get beat too. It ain't had nothing to do with none of it. I was just like, oh Lord, man, I'm not doing this no more. I ain't never coming back. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I for most of my life, Aunt Vera she used to terrorize some of us. I found out later in life, but others, she was just so loving. You know,
of course.
Yeah.
And that's how it goes.
Yeah. Some of my other cousins now we're grown and we talk about it. They're like, oh no, I ain't never got to beat my Aunt Vera. What? Every time I would open up the gate and get beat. You know what I'm saying?
So was it her or was it you that was the problem?
It was me. I ain't gonna lie. I was a man's little joker. I was bad too, boy. I couldn't sit still. I still can't sit still. You know what I mean? I can't sit still. True. I can't. I'm easily distracted. I'm like rabbit. And I'm looking at the rabbit. Right. There's a fly. Oh, there's a fly. You know what I mean? I still can't. I'm still all over the place, man. I just know how to control it a little bit better because I'm an adult. Maybe not, but still.
Maybe not.
But yeah, man. Yeah. God, I feel that was, oof. Yo, I came across something and I wanted to ask you a question.
Okay.
So I did something. Again, I'm always doing something. Okay. But I did something. And I want your opinion. Am I too old? Am I too old? The question is, when are you too old to get your first tattoo?
50.
Well, I guess I'm too old then. Oh man, you just know how to disrupt my life, don't you? You just love to disrupt my life. Well,
Yeah, pretty much.
I did it.
Okay.
I got a tattoo. I feel like I'm going home and telling my parents I'm 17, 18 years old. Mom, hiding it, and I got a heart that says I love mom on it because, tattoo artist.
Did you seriously?
No, I did not get that. I love mom. I love mom. With a little heart and an arrow through it. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I didn't. I didn't get that. But so what happened was, Mrs. Les she has tattoos, right?
Okay.
And for the past 10 years, I've been promising her that if she got another tattoo, I would get one.
Okay. Did you get her name?
No. Okay. No. I didn't get a dolphin.
Where is this tattoo?
I didn't get a dolphin either. So just so you know, I didn't get none of that stuff. It's the bad part about it.
Side eye right now.
I already see it. You got me kind of a little shook to even show you. You know what I'm saying? And it's not in the private spot.
I may not want to see it. Okay.
I got it on my left buttocks. Would you like to see that, sir?
Yeah. No, thank you. Absolutely not.
So my thought process was, and maybe I was wrong. For my first tattoo, I felt like I should get a big one to see if it would be something that I would do.
Why would you go big for your very first one?
Because I wanted to test the pain level.
Dog. The pain level is different depending on what spot you get. Ooh.
Loyalty.
Oh. So, ladies and gentlemen, he has it on his right forearm, under his forearm, that says loyalty.
Well,
how much did you cry?
I did
during the process.
I didn't. It was nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be.
So I have 3 of them. And I remember when I was going to get my first one. Now, the same guy did all 3 of mine. I got all 3 of them done in Germany.
Right.
But when I first went down to the tattoo parlor, there was a guy getting like everything done. Like he's been getting it done in phases. So he had his whole upper body done.
Wow.
Like, he already had his back complete. His arms were done. He had the sleeves, and he was, getting his chest done when I was in there. And so, I'm like, man, does this hurt? He says the only thing that hurt was under the arm and when they did the sternum. He said the rest of it didn't bother him.
Really?
Yeah. Now, see.
So, because he got a little close to that wrist bone down here. And it got a little tender because the meat, the bone right here, under that Y. It's, that bone's pretty thick in there. So,
So I have one on my back shoulder, right? And it's a 7 with a clover that says lucky under it, right? Because, 7 was always my number. I always wore 7. I always did something with 7. So
right.
That was like my very first tattoo. It was supposed to be colored in and the whole works. Well, the dude was taking smoke breaks. And when he came back, he made the outside lining so thick because he kept taking smoke breaks. And when he would come back, it would make the area more sore. Yeah. And I just like, dude, I'm done. Just shade it in and it's over. I'm not going to sit around waiting for color to be put on this thing just because, it was too much. You know? I got a couple of things on my left arm and stuff, but like the ones I got them in places that like today I have on a polo, right?
Yep.
I can go to work and look professional and people not know that I have
you got tattoos. Exactly.
Right. Unless I specifically pull my sleeves up, you know, you won't ever know.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't know for years that you had a tattoo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Until we were out hanging out. And then I seen it. I was like, oh, okay. You know, which it didn't shock me any. You know what I mean? But people, when I tell people I didn't have any until last weekend. You know what I mean? And people were like, what? You don't have nope.
What was your decision process for deciding what you wanted?
Well, it's a 4-part.
Okay.
This is the first part. So the 4 parts of it is what I believe in my heart, and I do and it's loyalty, respect, love, and honor.
Okay.
And those are 4 words. There's another one. It's really 5, and trust is a part of that too. But those 4 words resonate with me, you know. And I hear people say all the time, "Oh, you know, loyalty, you know, is only as good as when, you know, somebody needs something from you or something like that. Loyalty has an expiration date." I said, but my loyalty doesn't. Right? When I give you my loyalty, you don't have an expiration date on my loyalty. You know what I mean? And that's just who I am. And sometimes I'm loyal to a fault, you know?
Yeah, I get it.
You know, but I'm a loyal dude. You know what I mean? If you're my guy, you're my guy. You know what I mean? There's nothing, you know, we can't talk about or get through. You know what I mean? But to get that tag, you got to go through some things. We got to go through some things for me to give you that loyalty tag like that. You know what I mean? There's very few people that I feel that way for, and I am with. Next week, the shit take you guys with me is respect goes on this one.
Okay.
So you'll have loyalty and respect. And then you'll have love on the inside of this one and honor on the inside, forearm on that side. So this was just the beginning of everything. And, you know, I could have got a little, you know, I could have got my zodiac sign in a little, you know, corner of my shoulder to test it. Yeah. But I figured.
Yeah, I did think about that one. That was one that I considered at one point getting a bull.
Yep.
On you know, on my other shoulder. But at the time I was military, you know, and I'm right-handed. So I was like, you know, I was still on active duty. And I was like, I'll do everything on the left side. You know,
you're right.
At the time. So
yeah, so I never thought about it in the military, man.
Yeah, well, you know, being young and overseas and you don't know what to do, and it's like, oh, you're walking downtown. Hey, let's walk into the tattoo parlor. Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, why not? You know?
I swear we ran across each other somewhere in what is it called? Not Frankenstein, but Frankfurt or
Frankfurt.
Yeah, Frankfurt or somewhere, man. Because we were there around the same time.
Probably. I think we were like a year apart from each other.
Yeah, I stayed there for 3 years.
Okay. I got there in 96.
Oh, yeah, no. It was years apart then. About 3 years apart because I left in 93.
Okay.
I left in 93 and then I went to Georgia in 93 and then I did the rest of my time out in Savannah.
Okay. Yeah, that's where I wanted to go.
Savannah?
I really wanted to go to Savannah.
Yeah, Savannah was nice, man. Loved it. I had a lot of memories there.
I bet.
Nothing we can talk about on air, but I'll just say. Right.
So, what's one of the worst tattoos you've ever seen?
Oh my God! I seen the male member on somebody's neck.
Oh no!
Yeah. I was like, and And they were very, 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 very pale skin.
I have seen a woman. I never saw it in person. I saw it online of a woman having that tattooed, coming up out of her members.
Oh,
her chesticles.
Yes, her chest.
But in person, right?
Yeah.
So my family, we had went to a restaurant, right?
Yeah.
And there was a waitress. We're all sitting at the bar because the place was full and it's the only place you could really get in and just sit down and eat. So we sat at the bar and this waitress kept coming behind the bar, making herself mimosas.
Oh, she was having a good time.
So she's making herself mimosas and coffee cups. Thinking that we not noticing.
Right.
But every time she bent over, she had a tattoo on a little tramp stamp, as they call them.
Yeah.
And it said paradise.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, not paradise.
Yeah, so me and my son, so I'm at one side of the table. My son is at the other side of the bar, and we both see it. We both looking down at each other laughing.
Yeah.
We're texting each other from the ends of the table like, paradise for who?
who? Yeah, exactly. That's a flat island. You know what I'm saying? Right. Don't nobody want to go there.
Not at all.
That's horrible. But I tell you what, though, man, I remember, like you just said, you have a couple tattoos, but they're in spots that where, you're really not going to see them. So we've worked in the corporate world for a long time, both of us, and I'm like, I don't care no more now. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
in the beginning, when I was starting in my corporate career and stuff like that, that's the reason why I never got them. Because I didn't want to. Because there was a stigmatism.
It's not so much
it's
now.
Not so much now.
So much more.
It's more commonplace. Absolutely. Right. Same way with dreadlocks.
Yeah.
Braids. Yep.
I think if done tastefully, like I tend to still give somebody side eye if I see a whole sleeve.
Really?
Because I'm looking to see what's on that sleeve.
Yeah.
Because sometimes there's something hidden
inside of it. Yeah, absolutely.
So
they all have meaning, supposedly.
Right. Supposedly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, supposedly they have meaning. So, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah. So everything has a, personal meaning for me. It wasn't about that I was scared to do it or didn't have the pain tolerance, or I once sat and let somebody try to stick me 6 times to put an IV in so they could pass the combat medic course. No. They stuck me 6 times to try to get the needle in, and I watched every single time. So I'm nowhere near afraid of needles.
No.
You know what I mean?
I remember going through that course, and they only got 1 shot, and I gave them the biggest vein possible. I sat there and got a soda right before time, and I put it right on the spot, and I made sure I did some push-ups and everything.
Yeah.
But I got the biggest vein possible and put it right there. It's like, here you go.
Yep.
But
I let them do it 6 times, 3 in each arm. And they were the instructor was like, "Okay, that's enough." He said, he looked at me and said, "You're a glutton for pain, aren't you?" I was like, "No." He was like, "Who would let somebody stick them 6 times?
6 times.
6
right.
times? Who would do that?" I was like,
"Right.
Hell, I thought y'all needed somebody, so I went ahead and did it. I ain't scared. I had 6 holes in my arms. So, but hey, it was what it was, and then." When I was getting my tattoos, what I thought was going to hurt the worst didn't hurt me nowhere near the level that I thought when he was doing the shading, around my letters. I thought that was going to hurt big time.
Mm-hmm. The shading does not hurt.
The shading doesn't hurt. Nowhere near them doing the drawing and putting the lines in.
One of the things that I still have issues with at times is I've had my tattoos, I guess, 96, 97. So, for over 20 years, I've had my tattoos now.
Right.
And I still have issues sometimes where my letters and stuff will puff up.
Oh, really? So you keloid?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay.
That's why I was afraid. I never wanted my ears pierced.
Yeah. See, I'm not a big ears piercing guy. I'm just not. You know what I mean? Everybody has their views on everything, but my view is a little different than everybody else's. So it is what it is. But I never went after getting my ears pierced, man.
No, I wouldn't do that. Like I had a buddy of mine who had his ears pierced and was messing around slap boxing, and somebody snatched the earring right out his ear, and he developed a huge keloid behind his ear. And so he sat there and had it for a couple years, and finally had surgery and had a keloid removed. So he was finally able to wear his earrings again. Slap boxing again. Didn't learn his lesson and had it ripped out again.
Oh, no. That's called an ID10T.
And for those that missed that is called an idiot.
Somebody's at home going, ID10T. Yeah. But so
I used to do that for people's passwords.
Did you?
If you ask me too many times to reset your password, that's what your password came back.
Stop it. Stop it.
Yep.
That's horrible, man.
I know. I'm a butt.
Yeah, you're a bully. What is he gonna do to you? You know what I'm saying? Getting back to this, so 50 is too old, huh? To start your tattoo journey.
I believe so, that 50 is just a little bit too old to start it.
Yeah.
And usually when you start getting older, it's like your skin is not as tight. You look at it, getting them in your 20s, and there's not many of us that are the same size as we were in our 20s as we are in our 50s.
Yeah.
Somebody got their initials at 20, and the tattoo says WTA, and by the time they turn 50, it says "Welcome to America."
It says what the boop, you know what I'm saying? Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Usually when you see somebody over 50, 60, 70 who has a lot of tattoos, sometimes, that stuff starts to look a little wrinkly.
I mean, yeah. What do you do?
You kind of got to take the time to keep yourself, in shape, keep your skin tight and things like that,
Yeah. To a certain extent,
To a certain extent.
Yeah.
Like when you get a tattoo, it's supposed to be something that is personal to you. There's no story behind it. Not, oh, I'm an idiot and I got Drake's name tattooed across my forehead,
They become compound words.
I think that when you start getting tattoos, you have to be very, very careful, because I think, the stigma is still there to a point that it limits you
for growth. It could.
It limits your ability to grow. Now that mindset is not the same anymore. That stigma is not there anymore. But you've interviewed several people over the years, and you see somebody who comes in and they have a tattoo in their face. Are you going to hire them?
The HR correct, appropriate way would be it doesn't matter if they have tattoos on their face or not.
Right, exactly. The HR correct policy is it does not matter because you don't discriminate.
That's right, because you don't discriminate. However, I believe there's some discrimination in those areas. I do believe that.
Yes.
If you're customer facing, now if you're customer facing, now that they're hiring and working from home, man, I've seen some stuff. People turning on their cameras. I was like, like almost in shock. I had to turn my camera off.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I was like, I had to mute myself and turn the camera off and was like, bang, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because you in shock about what you see sometimes. You know what I mean? But then at other times, I believe certain things are becoming more socially acceptable because of this current day and time. A lot of your upper management have tattoos.
Yeah, I get it, but you're kind of looking at generational changes because you and I are on that line where our age was kind of where it was becoming more and more acceptable.
We were on the fence with it.
An older person that's probably 10, 20 years older than us, it's usually a sailor, you would see a tattoo on. And then after that, it just became like really taboo. Now it's like, it's almost commonplace to see somebody with a full tattoo sleeve,
Right.
But it, in all, it's still a personal preference. And to me, I still believe that it limits you. It limits what you can do. And
see, I'm not looking to keep climbing the corporate ladder. Let's just be real about it. If I do anything corporate wise, it'll be my own corporate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I get you. I mean, I have my projects. I have my side projects on the side, doing my own thing. But at the same time, I still have those aspirations of being a CEO one day, being at that upper level, leadership role because.
Oh, yeah. I've never wanted that.
No.
You know what I mean?
To me, that's just my progression path.
For me, I don't think it is because I how can I say it? I get bored pretty quick. Right? And I don't want to be, that's not my thing. I don't want that. Do I want the salary? Absolutely. The income? Absolutely. Who wouldn't want that type of income, right? A CEO income. But you got CEO problems if you're getting CEO income. You know what I'm saying? I don't want CEO problems.
No, that's true. I mean, more money, more problems. We get it. I'm just one that I believe in my abilities to be able to do that,
And there's nothing wrong with that. And if you ask me, I think you do have the qualities of that.
Thank you.
Right? But, and you're up for the challenge. I think that you would be great. Now, me, I'd be playing too much golf. You know what I'm saying?
That's the reason I learned how to play in the beginning.
I know.
Just schmooze with upper management.
Listen, that's why I learned. And deals are truly made in some corporate entities on the golf course.
Yeah, that's true.
I've gotten 2 promotions out of it with 2 different companies. I got a promotion from it in one company, went to an outing with another company, met the person there, got another promotion and moved to that company. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I'm no longer, I ain't playing golf no more like that either. But I understand where you're coming from, and I do understand the stigmatism with it. However, nowadays, I think that HR and hiring managers are much more tolerant to certain things. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not gonna hire a guy that's got Batman written across his forehead.
Yeah. I mean, you look at it in the times we're in now, these companies are so desperate to hire somebody right now. Like, okay, I'll use this for an example, right? Little Russ, right? Mm-hmm. I just talked about it about a month ago where she just graduated college, and to God be the glory.
Right.
And in less than a month, she got a job.
Oh, okay.
She got a job in her field where a guy called her. He looked at her resume and it had two things on it: high school valedictorian and summa cum laude. And all that guy said, I like smart people, and hired her on the spot, sight unseen. Sight unseen. And she's on this job and she's loving it right now,
because of her qualifications.
So I think that we're in a position now where people are so desperate for talent. When they see it, they get it right away, and not going through the whole rigmarole, especially with, young people coming right out of college. They're trying to snatch them up as quickly as they can.
And that's the way I would hope nowadays things are progressing, because that's the way it is now. You know what I'm saying? And let's just be real about it. The old timey way of, the old HR directors and stuff like that, their daughters and their sons are doing things that are unspeakable. So they're used to, now they understand, what life truly is out here in these streets. You know what I mean? So you can get a whole lot worse than a freaking tattoo on the side of somebody's neck. You know what I mean? You could be getting a whole lot worse. I've seen it. I've seen the interview. The person was clean cut, answered all the questions properly, was very articulate, smart, and you sit back and you say, okay, you had a lot of jobs. Why? Well, hired them and you found out why they had a lot of jobs. You know what I mean? Because they got more problems that's listed than accomplishments on their resume. You know what I mean? But it's like the lottery, man. You take your choice nowadays. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm going to put this quarter in at the slot machine and see if I win something.
Right. The grand scheme of it is that it's still a good old boys club. Real and talk. It's never going to change.
The bad part about it, man, is that at some parts, we're still excluded from that good old boys club.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I get where that old conversation that comes in is you have to be twice as good. You know what I mean? Comes in and things like that, but that's for another show. But absolutely. I understand a younger man without the credentials and the experience and things like that probably would have more trouble getting hired at hired someplace because of his, his body art, or her body art.
Yeah, no, but I get it. You do have to be twice as good. And for me, I've always felt like, hey, I'm not going to limit myself and give people the opportunity to cut me off before I can get my foot in the door. Yeah, I have my tattoos, but you can't see them if I don't show you. You don't know it if I don't tell you. My name is about as common can get, right? But what I put out there on social media is very clean cut. You're not going to have any way to pull those strikes against me. My talent is going to show because I'm not going to limit myself because of that.
Hey, bro, I agree with you with that. Because I have a lot of those feelings, right? That, let's just go with Martin Shanae. You know what I mean? If somebody can't pronounce your name, you know what I'm saying? Come on, let's be real about it. A lot of times they're going to read that and be like, okay, let's pass on this one. because it's very clear who that is. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you have the best schooling ever. They're not even going to get that far. You know, and for people out here seeking jobs, your email address says the same thing about you. Your email address, syrupsipper27 at gmail.com.
Right.
I'm going to call Russ and be like, dog, look at this. You know what I'm saying? Look at this.
As we do each week, we like to close the show with a little bit of inspiration. Now, last week, my co-host said that he was going to come with some inspiration. So, you got an inspirational word for the Manspace Nation, Les, or were you just being hyperbolic?
I don't even know what hyperbolic means.
I told Mrs. Russ that some kind of way I was going to put in hyperbolic into the show. I was going to use it. I love that word. And I was going to use it in the show some kind of way. And I was figuring out, and I figured this is going to be the spot where I was going to get you with it. I figured that was going to be the response.
You did. I'm going to lie to the Manspace Nation. I'm gonna look it up. Let me see.
Well, while Les is looking up hyperbolic, I guess I will go ahead and give you your little inspiration, because this week it is story time with Russ.
See, I knew you had something.
So, one day, there were two old goats. And for the sake of the story, we're going to call these goats Russ and Les.
I knew it was going to be us. Okay.
So on this day, Russ and Les approached a narrow bridge from either end. And Russ said, "Move, you old goat." Well, Les yelled back, "Goat, please. You move. I ain't moving." Russ and Les began to fight at the center of the bridge, with neither one of them giving way. Suddenly, the bridge broke, taking Russ and Les with it. You see, the moral of the story is it's better to yield than to succumb to misfortune just for the sake of being stubborn.
Two stubborn old goats we are. So
that is true.
One of us, at least I can swim though.
That is true.
I don't know. I had to do the goat shuffle to the side over there. I'd save you though, brother. I'd save you from the crocodile.
But I mean, you look at the things that are going on in today's society, man, and, we really didn't want to touch on all the shootings and things like that. We wanted to give you an escape from some of the stuff that's been going on.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is just the stubbornness of people. Sometimes it is better to just yield.
Just get out of the way.
Than to get out of the way than to end up either dead, in jail for the rest of your life with somebody calling you Pookie, or whatever else that may come out of it, man. Sometimes it is better just to yield rather than deal with the consequences, man.
That's right.
Of your own stubbornness.
That is so true. I've had to yield at times, so it's something you have to do. You have to man up, and sometimes you just got to yield. Sometimes you got to listen to others. Don't be so stubborn. But I found the definition of hyperbolic.
Yes.
Definition of hyperbolic.
Do you want to share?
I'm going to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to.
All right.
It says of, comma, related to, or marked by language that what? Extricates? No, that's not right. Exaggerates or overstates the truth.
So, Les, were you being hyperbolic when you said that you were going to give the Manspace Nation some inspiration last week?
Maybe. Possibly. Well, overstates the truth. Maybe. I wasn't lying, but I was spreading it a little bit. Because if I would have had to do it, I'd have came up with something. I'd have had to step into my pawpaw ways, and hit you with a pawpaw saying,
I got you. And on that note, Manspace Nation,
we out of here.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Manspace.
Whichever platform you listen to us on, make sure you subscribe and don't miss a show.
Remember to keep up with all the Manspace updates on our website, themanspacepodcast.com.
And you can follow us on Instagram at ManspaceNat1.
Until next time, Manspace Nation, he's Les, I am Russ, and we are out
of here.